Radio Free Cybertron.
Transformers.
Rewind.
This week on Transformers Rewind, it's changing gears from Generation 1.
You alone have the special circuit I need.
What happened? I suddenly feel so good-natured.
Obviously this circuit modulated your personality. But that can wait. Now watch and marvel as I harness the mighty power of the sun.
So, Changing Gears is one of my favorite episodes because I love Gears. He is such a cantankerous fart. It's kind of like why I love Ratchet so much from Animated. But Gears, this episode is just so dumb. It's wonderful and dumb. What do you guys think? Don, you have to love this episode as much as I do.
Actually, I don't. It's
No!
One, Gears is not one of my favorite characters. Also, I've always gave the science in Transformers a pass, but this is just all... Mr. Wizard is turning in his grave right now.
What are you talking about? I mean, the solar needle shoots a beam at the sun. It gets there almost instantaneously. And then it sucks energy from the sun thanks to a circuit that came out of Gears' chest.
Exactly.
And that circuit changed his personality. It changed Gears.
Yes, it was like Dianetics. It changed his life, apparently. But this episode is just all over the place for me. It's just not one of my favorites.
There are things I really love about this episode. It starts off with some miners who strike gold. And one of them, there's the generic spark plug in this episode, because guys who look and sound just like Sparkplug show up through G1 several times, and this is one of the episodes that I can remember that happening in. But yeah, so they basically strike gold, then the Decepticons show up, but the Decepticons didn't want the gold. They just wanted to build a space needle in the middle of Africa, in the geographic center of Africa.
Yes, the Decepticons attack the miners simply to draw the Autobots to their location.
To get Gears.
It's
brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, which actually shows strategic thinking from Megatron, other than just shoot them till they die.
Pretty much. Megatron gets Gears, and he's like, "That Autobot is the key to my plan." I mean, Gears didn't just come out that week, so why was he all of a sudden the focus of the episode?
Because due to the secret scans that the Decepticons had performed on the Autobots, he knew that Gears was the one.
How did he get that?
Yeah, and how can that circuit not be in existence anywhere else on the planet? It's just...
Hey, some people have a matrix inside their chest, and some people have a piece of machinery
Space
that makes
needle
them
key.
cranky.
A space needle key. That's exactly it.
And can pull the sun in. I mean...
So, Diecast, you said you've never actually seen this episode. One, how? And two, what did you think?
I guess I just seen season 1, and I don't know, from what I remember...
From season 1.
The Changing Gears of season 2.
Yeah, season 2.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. If the plot sort of makes sense, and there's a sort of semi-logical progression, and the animation looks like crap, well... Actually, the animation looks like crap through most of G1. But the first season is kind of just boring.
Yeah.
And the second season is crazy. That's sort of how you tell them apart.
And the third season is awesome.
Third season is awesome.
To me, Gears had the most personality of any G1 character that I've experienced so far. So it was
for that one episode.
That's exactly right.
It was hysterical because he was a grumpy old man, and as soon as Megatron took that thing out of his chest and put it in the machine, it was like he was so nice he couldn't even say no. If someone asked him to do something, he had to do it.
He was compelled to. It was just kind of convenient for the plot of the episode. I mean, I don't know.
Considering how it resolves it, the plot resolves. That was very crucial.
So, what's the worst part about this episode?
Okay, I have to. Well, I have to say the reflective force shield that you never see animated. It works when the Autobots fire into it, but Starscream about blows up the thing while he's inside. Yet we never see it anywhere. It's like it's a force shield that you can't see, and it.
Speaking of Starscream, has his null ray ever had that effect on somebody before? He just shot Gears with the null ray, and he just sort of stopped what he was doing.
In More Than Meets the Eye, he did that to the turbines at Hoover Dam, Sherman Dam.
Yeah,
it showed that glossy little overlay, and then the turbines just sort of all froze in place.
But yeah.
So it has happened.
Yeah, I mean, it just, I don't know. I just remember him mostly talking about his null ray, and whenever he used his laser blasters, they were just laser blasters.
But that was my problem. It's just it's there for the plot convenience, but they didn't even bother animating it.
Okay, I'm going to go for the big one here. My problem was that they drove to the geological center of Africa in under 2 hours.
Yeah, that's.
How did they do that? Did they have a space bridge?
They are more than meets the eye.
Yeah, I figured since that happened so many times, I wasn't going to bring it up, but apparently, robots in disguise, space bridges. No Skyfire. It's okay.
So I'll probably mention this again at some point in my life, but they didn't stay up late writing the Transformers.
No.
I love it. I love this episode, and I love Gears. And I just love how unabashedly silly this episode is. It's not the silliest by any stretch, but, but I love this episode just for how simplistic and how unadulteratedly pure of heart this episode is. It's like the whole Gears is this cantankerous guy, and there's this little circuit. Conveniently, you take it out, and he becomes this saccharine, sweet's not the right word. This agreeable fellow. It's such a wonderful device, and I don't know, it just warms my heart. I just really like this episode, as awful as it is. I mean,
and you can watch this episode by itself. You don't have to. They don't really build on each other a whole lot. So
there's no story arc at play here.
Yeah, you can just watch one episode and not be like, I'm totally lost. Right. You can follow right along.
Well, one thing I've noticed, and this is just a general thing about season 2, is my favorite season of the three main seasons, not counting Rebirth in and of itself.
That's your favorite season.
But the focus episodes that we get throughout season 2, like Changing Gears, I think are some of the strongest episodes because you actually get some character development, not only in the character like Gears, but you see Bumblebee as like the little brother. You see Cliffjumper as the impatient, get it done now kind of thing. When he charges in and jumps in and tries to block the beam to let Optimus shatter the reflective force field. So I think there's a lot more personality comes through in these focus episodes.
And I like the ending where everyone's like, why should we turn Gears back? Let's just leave him this way. And Gears is so happy, but he's saying basically, if you don't turn me back, I'm going to explode.
This is Gears on Zoloft, is basically what
Gears was getting a little passive-aggressive there towards the end of the episode.
But you got to wonder the ethical ramifications of forcing him to stay that way, too, if you want to look at it from that standpoint.
And Optimus Prime made the wise decision. He did. He made sure that Gears became Gears.
I will say, it's during the whole fight where everyone's just standing around waiting for them to shoot Optimus. It's like, someone do something. You know, it's like they're all just waiting for something to happen.